Yo, what is up guys, welcome to a new video. Today I'm gonna be checking some of the remixes that you did for the remix contest that Astroblast, Glow Records and me decided to do for our song One Day, and also I'm gonna say the winners. The tracks I'm gonna show you are not in a particular order of my favorite songs or so, and also those tracks don't need to be my favorite remixes, just remixes that I think are good to show because they are so unique or things like that. And I have to say thank you because I thought we were going to get like 30, 40, maybe 50 remixes of One Day, but we got more than 350 remixes. More than 350. It's crazy. We listened to all of those remixes, then we made a list with the finalists, and then we decided the 3 winners, but it's been so difficult. For these remixes we were trying to find different things, and also we didn't want to get like 3 winners in the same genre. We didn't want 3 winners that made hardstyle, or 3 winners that made progressive house, or 3 winners that made big room or whatever. We wanted to have different winners with different genres, and this also made it so much difficult to decide because when we were checking about the progressive house winners, it was so difficult to decide one winner amongst the other progressive house remixes. But well, don't wait more, let's start checking those remixes. Even if they are not your tracks, you can learn a lot from the feedback I'm gonna give, and also you can check some of the remixes that people did for our track. Don't forget to subscribe and give a like, and also I would like to know your favorite remix, so put it down in the comments and let's start with it. So guys, here we have the first remix by Lewis Wilson, and I think in this track the mixdown wasn't that good, but the idea was so unique and the drop so original, so that's why I think it was nice to have it here. For example, here the vocal is way too quiet and has too much reverb and also too much mid, so it doesn't stand out in the mix. For example, those drums are too loud and also have too much sidechain when the kick hits. Also, the hi-hats are too loud. I think this part is so beautiful. I don't have a lot to say on the drop. I think it's so unique, but if I have to say something, maybe the snare was a bit too loud and has too much highs, and also the leads could be a bit louder and tighter, you know, and a bit more powerful. I would try to use OTT on those leads because probably it would give a bit more brightness to them and make them tighter and more powerful. Then we have this one by Brage Andre or something like this, and I think also is so unique. For example, here when it starts the pads or the effects, whatever it is, it has a really bad high resonance. Also, the vocal is a bit too quiet. I would make it a bit louder, but not too much. Maybe I would try to add a bit more mids to the vocal, or if not, what he could do is add a bit more mids on the pads, or add more pads in general on the track, you know, more layers to cover the mid frequencies. This is basically the part of the original. I think it's so unique like the previous one. And well, some things I could say is that the leads in the build-up were a bit too loud, and in the drop the leads are too narrow. But this is not a big problem because he has the leads on the center, but then the chords are really wide. But I would try to make those leads a bit wider, not completely wide, but just a little bit, maybe with some layering or just opening that lead. The third mix is by inby or ambi or whatever, and it's a progressive house one. This is really good.
Separated through the miles, searching for the answer to our trials. We came so far.
Maybe on this break I would just try to put a pad doing the chords, because this way you can cover a bit more space and make it a bit warmer.
Even the stars between us won't bury us. One day we can be together, and this moment could last forever. I found a piece of heaven, so I pray we can be together. One
I think the biggest problem on this track is that the breakdown is way too quiet compared to the drop. There is way too much difference. And yeah, it's good to have the breakdown and the build up a bit quieter, because this way when the drop comes it hits harder, but this is way too much. And about the drop, I wouldn't say that much, you know, it's quite good. What I would do is make the chords of the drop a bit wider, because in my opinion now the sides are just the leads, and this makes the sides a bit thin. So if you have the chords really wide, you're gonna cover a lot of space and you're gonna make the sides more heavy, more powerful. And you're not gonna lose any power in the center, because in the center you have the bass line and the sub, so they're covering that space and making that space really full and warm. Then we have the remix by Rain, and it's another progressive house track, really good.
separated through the miles, searching for
The vocal is a bit too quiet.
our trials. We came so far through our weakness.
In my opinion, those shakers and claps and snaps are a bit too loud.
Between us won't bury us. One day we can be together.
I missed a bit of sub in this break kick, so what I would try to do if the kick doesn't have that much sub is try the R bass by waves. You put it on around 40-50 Hz and you increase a little bit, and you're gonna give more sub to it. Or if not, what you can try is or another kick, or just start a normal sub below the kick. Alright, first what I would do is try to add on the build-up a riser that is kind of synth riser, because it's just basically a white noise, and I miss some kind of normal risers giving a bit more energy. Then the snare before the drop is a bit too loud. Also the ear candy in the drop, like some claps, some reverse sounds and all these things are a bit too loud, and especially the toms that you use in some parts. And in my opinion, even though I like clean sounds, I think the leads are way too clean, so I would try to add some distortion on those leads, or try to add another layer that is kind of distorted or more noisy, and also I would make the leads a bit louder. Let's go now with the remix of Aitor Blonde, that if you didn't know, Aitor Blonde already remixed one of my tracks, and he remixed it Here Tonight. If you didn't know, this past month, the 1st of June, we released the Here Tonight remix EP, where people like Aitor Blonde, Stefan, Manu and me released some remixes. So if you didn't check, the link is down below in the description. I recommend you to check them all, because in my opinion are really good, and the EP is also really unique because every remix is different from the other one. But well, let's check now what Aitor Blonde did for One Day. In the build-up I also missed some kind of synth riser, and this drop is not at all my style, but I think it sounds so unique too. But I hear something weird in the leads. I'm not sure what he did, but it's like the leads in the center but wide, you know. I'm not sure if he used any kind of sample delay or has effect or something like this, but I hear something weird in the sides. I would try just to add another layer on the sides to cover a bit more space. I like that grease bass.
Searching for the answer to our trials. We came so far through our weakness. We
I think those claps need a bit more attack, but are kind of good.
found the love, even the stars between us. One day we can be together. In this moment,
I like that he stayed just with one note, with one chord, and not changing. It adds a lot of tension to the track.
so why together?
I like this bridge to go to the outro, and I think the claps were a bit too wide. Now here we have the remix of Chris Lake and J.N. Moreno. It's a progressive house track and it's also really good.
Through the miles, searching for the answer to our trials. We came so far through our
The vocal is a bit too quiet.
won't bury us. One day, and this moment could last forever.
I think the highs of the guitar are clashing a little bit with the vocal, so what I would do is a sidechain EQ, so this way when the vocal plays the highs of the guitar reduce a bit, or just try, you know, a dynamic EQ on the highs of the guitar, so this way if there are too much highs it reduces in a dynamic way.
One day,
I don't have a lot to say on this track because I think the mixdown is on point. I would just say one thing, but it's just my taste, you know, my opinion, but it's not really something that is bad. And it's that the glide effect, you know, when it goes down, like a tape stop effect, I think it's too much on the sides. This is probably because the leads are on the sides, you know, and so, but I would like that effect to be more in the center, not completely mono, but a bit more in the center. In my opinion now it's a bit too much on the sides, but it's not really something bad, just my taste. Now here we have the Stefan remix. I like a lot this intro.
separated through the miles, our trials. We came so far through our weakness.
I think the vocal is a bit too quiet and I will try to open it a bit more. It's too much in the center. The vocal has the delays on the sides and that's good, but I don't know, I feel like it's too much in the center. So maybe what I would try to do is use the CLA vocals that it has like a stereo effect and use that a little bit. And also what you can try to do is apply a reverb that is really short, the shortest possible, just like a 5%, 10%, something like this. And this also helps a little bit to open the vocal.
Won't marry us. One day we can be
I like a lot when the melody comes.
in this moment could last forever. You and I have found a piece of heaven. So I pray we can be together. One day.
just left this part because I like a lot this effect that he gives to the vocal, and I wanted to show you. About this track, I don't have a lot to say because I think the mixdown is really good and it has a lot of energy when the drop comes. I would just say that maybe the kick is a bit too loud and it has a bit too much mid, so the leads could be a bit louder, and also there are some highs that are a little bit annoying in some parts. So what I would try to do is just reduce those highs in those parts, or just reduce them in the entire drop, and there's no problem. Then here we have the remix by Soda Sphere, and this one is also really good and so emotional. I think also the vocal is a bit too quiet. I've realized I always say that. Maybe it's because I like kind of loud vocals.
We came so far through our weakness.
Here the guitar is clashing a little bit with the vocals, so I would do the same as I said before. Try to use tight EQ, so this way when the vocal plays, the guitar reduces a little bit in some frequencies and give more space to it. The guitar here is too loud. I like a lot this part when the melody comes. It adds a lot of emotion and it gives me like a kind of Dimitri Vangelis and Wyman vibe. I think the rises are a bit too loud. I have to say two things about this drop, and is that first, when the drop comes, I think the emotion that it gives is awesome. The way the melody starts and the first chord is awesome. And the second thing is that I like a lot the hover that he uses in the second part of the drop. I think it gives even more emotion than what he has. But I think this one needs a bit more mixing. Apart from the things I said in the breakdown, I think the kick is a bit too quiet and needs more sub. Also, the entire drop needs a bit more sub, and the leads need a bit more body. So I would increase a little bit on the mids of them, or I would try to add another layer to them. I also think the leads are a bit too wide. Then let's go with the B2A and Ankle Breaker remix. Is a hardstyle one.
Separated through the miles, searching for the answer to our trials. We came so far through our weakness. We found the love, even the stars between us won't marry us. One day we can
I also think the vocal is a bit too quiet.
be together in this moment. I say that you and I have found a piece of heaven. We can be together one day. So I pray we can be together one day.
I don't have a lot to say on this track. I think the mixdown is really good and the track is really awesome. Just the thing I said about the vocal, especially when the melody comes and in the drop, the vocal is a bit too quiet, so it's a bit too difficult to hear it. And also to give that extra 2% to make a better mix, I think the leads need a bit of work in the around 1000-2000 hertz area, and reduce there just maybe half the B, 1 dB, and I think this way is gonna make it sound a bit tighter and a bit better, because now sound like a bit nasal. And finally, the last remix I'm gonna check is by Hypnotune.
We found love
nice down.
I think this remix is awesome. It's not my type of music at all, but it's so unique and the idea is awesome. It has some problems in the mixdown, especially in the mid highs and highs, but if you didn't know, Hypnotune is kinda deaf. I talk about this in this video up here that I recommend you to watch, because I'm talking about ear protection that is so important, especially if you want to be a music producer or a DJ. But even if he is kinda deaf, he made a really good track that is quite good mix. So well guys, here you have 10 remixes that I wanted to show you. It's not the only 10 remixes that I like, but I think are 10 remixes that were worth to show. And now let's talk about the winners. The 3 winners are gonna get an official remix uploaded on the streaming platforms like Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal and all these things. Are also gonna get of course our support, and well, depending on if it's the first winner, second or third, they are gonna get some different kind of packs and those things. If you want to know what kind of prizes they're gonna win, I recommend you to check the video where I explain all of these things about the remix contest. And well, we were looking for original and unique things, and also of course we're looking for a good mixdown. But if the mixdown needs a bit of work, it's not a big problem because we can help them to improve that mixdown, you know, and get finally a good track. So well, now the winners. The first winner of the remix contest of one day is Hypnotune with this awesome and unique remix. As I said, he has some problems in the mixdown, but there's not a problem. We're gonna help him to finish it, to make it sound good, because he has some problems in frequencies that he cannot hear. But we thought this shouldn't be a problem to don't make him a winner, because his remix is awesome and super unique. On the second winner, we had a really big problem, and it's because, as I said at the beginning, we didn't want to release 2 or 3 remixes in the same genre. So the second winner is a progressive house track. The problem is that we were deciding amongst 3 remixes. Those remixes are the Soda Sphere remix, the Stefan remix, and the Chris Like and JN Moreno remix. A fun fact is that we were 6 people voting on this, and 2 people voted for the Soda Sphere, 2 people voted for the Stefan, and 2 people voted for the Chris Like and JN Moreno. So we had a tie and we needed some more people to help us, and I'm sorry because we cannot release those 3 remixes, because otherwise there wouldn't be any exclusivity on Be the Winner, and I feel so bad for that. But the second winner of the remix contest of one day is Soda Sphere with that awesome emotional remix. Shout out to Stefan, Chris Like and JN Moreno, because those remixes were also really good, and I feel so bad to don't be able to release the 3 remixes. And last but not least, the third and last winner of the remix contest of one day is the remix of B2A and Ankle Breaker with that awesome hardstyle remix. So congrats to the winners. We're gonna contact them, give them the prizes, and in 1 month you're gonna have the remixes officially uploaded on the streaming platforms. We recommend you to follow Astroblast, Glow Records and me on the social medias, because this way you stay tuned and you know when those remixes get released. And as I said, I feel so bad for the people that didn't win, because there were awesome remixes, not only the Stefan, the Chris Like and JM Moreno. There were awesome remixes that we couldn't release because we had to choose 3 winners. But thank you to all the people that participated in this contest. It's the first contest I do, but of course it's not gonna be the last one. So thank you so much if you joined, thank you so much if you watched this video. Don't forget to leave a like and write in the comments your favorite remix. Don't forget to subscribe so you stay tuned about everything. Again, congrats to the winners, and guys, see you in the next video.